Good evening and an extended happy Memorial Day, or if it's a happy Memorial Day for anybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Laureen Pryor, and I will be your moderator for this evening. Um, on behalf of BSBA, which provides advocacy and resources to the Black community. Tonight, we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and the impacts on the hospitality industry. That's our Black restaurants and our caterers. So without further ado, let's meet our panelists. Our first panelist, we're going to go to Miss Danielle. Introduce yourself and tell everybody about your business, please.
Hi, I'm Danielle. My company is called Goodful. We do healthy, organic, local, kind of fast, slow food. But recently have pivoted to grocery delivery with COVID. We're based out of the Del Paso Heights area in Sacramento and have been in SAC operating for just under a year and a half.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to the party. I appreciate you taking the time out to come and hang out with us. Next, we're going to go to Daddy O's Smokehouse. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Hey, what's going on? We are Daddy O's Smokehouse. It's me, OZ Kamara, my wife, Valencia Kamara. We are a barbecue catering business. We do everything from pop-ups to catering for corporate catering. We do birthday parties, anything you could think of, small family dinners. And we're based out of Rancho Cordova. We've been open for about 3 years, and we're just happy to be here to share the knowledge and also gain some knowledge.
That's what's up. And I'm going to put a background. So if there is a way that if you're trying to watch and be on the stream, if somebody has another device around, if you could put that on mute, that'd be fantastic. And we'll go over to Mr. Jonathan Burgess. Introduce us to, Sacramento should know you by now, but go ahead and introduce yourself to us again and let us know about your business.
Great. Well, thanks for the intro. I'm Jonathan Burgess, one of the Burgess brothers. Sacramento native, born and raised, and you probably know Matthew and myself for that sign back there behind me, Burgess Brothers Barbecue. And the barbecue sauce, we've gone from brick and mortar to catering to concessions and ballparks and arenas, and actually to food packaged products. So just an array of everything that we do, from corporate caterings. We're talking 1,700 people at one time, to government contracts for catering. And so Matt hopefully will join us, but we're here today really just to kind of share what we know and go off what the topic says, which is collaboration, sharing knowledge, and dropping gold nuggets for success. So thank you for that introduction, and look forward to the meeting.
Great. Thank you for being here. And we're going to see if Matt actually gets a chance to pop on. But before I get into the questions, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we have printed copies of this. We will be coming to your establishments, dropping some copies, purchasing some food, and making sure that we are supporting the Black businesses in our community. So if you have not had a chance to go ahead and put yourself on this list, we are open to it. Nobody was left off intentionally. If you have something that you want the people to know about, make sure you message us so we can put you on this comprehensive list. And not just the name of your business, if you could message me where you're located, hours, and a contact number, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. And actually, I think Matt just jumped on, so we're glad that he actually joined us. So my first question to the panelists, and I'm going to go to Miss Danielle first. Tell us, why is it important that we establish our own businesses in this space? Why is that important?
I think it's important that we establish ourselves in every arena. But definitely in food, all of us have been making incredible food for years, for centuries. So it's important for us to stake our claim, essentially, right, in this industry as well as many others.
Great, and we'll go over to Daddy O's Smokehouse. Same question. Why do you think it's important for us to kind of establish ourselves in this arena? Why is it important?
Well, I would say it's important that we make sure that we have our own. Too often we're dependent on or at least looking for other resources to provide for us. But this is our opportunity to stake claim in our image of our dream of Black excellence. So that's what we're doing this for.
And also, I just think that it provides a foundation for your family, for your kids' kids, and even your kids' kids. If you work hard enough, you know, it's all about the effort you put in, and then you'll get the results that you're looking for. So that's why it's important.
Thank you for that. Matt, why is it important that we establish ourselves in this arena, this particular arena?
So I'm gonna take us back to a little bit of history now. And Mom always used to say that it's important to know your history, the past, so you know where you're going. If you go back to the beginning of time when our people were brought over here, we've been in the kitchen. We had some of the finest folks, Black American slaves that came in. They were cooking as hospitality. It's the oldest industry in the world, just about, and there's trillions and trillions of dollars involved in that industry. So it's not a it's a matter of us being a part of it, but we weren't a part of it. We built it from all the things that you find on the shelves. A lot of those things we didn't have the opportunity to put our own name on because we didn't have the rights. And so again, we're still catching up. So we have to. It's a must. There's no other way. And you know, our folks can cook.
So when we're talking about, you know, innovation, right? What folks don't understand and what I didn't understand prior to our call, and again, if you have another device that is also watching while you're listening to me, if you can put that on mute, that'd be great. But when we're talking about innovation, now it's important for everybody to understand that there are several different types of models, business models that our companies have. I think right here is a great kind of variety of business models. So we'll go to Daddy O. Tell us about what type of business model are you all running for Daddy O? What's your business model?
Absolutely. We are more so a new age millennial barbecue business. So we're something that we feel like we're something that hasn't really existed yet in our community or in the global community. We are a millennial barbecue business. We are trying to be the next DoorDash, the next Chow Now, the next Uber. You know, we're that's what we're going for.
Now, yesterday you said, okay. Yesterday, specifically, it was a name that you gave me. What was the name of the business model that you gave us yesterday? Do you remember?
We're essentially a barbecue business as to where there's no limit to
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and a ghost kitchen. Yeah, we're setting up as a ghost kitchen as part of the phase of our business. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna even allow other people to come into our kitchen and expand their own business.
Okay,
So
so
we get things
what a ghost kitchen is. Do you have it in front of you?
A ghost kitchen is right now you can find them more so in New York and San Francisco and LA. It's starting to pop up more in LA as well. But a ghost kitchen, we are a collaborative of other food businesses, and instead of all of these different businesses building their own restaurant, their own building, right now we're in the age where people rather DoorDash than drive down the street and go get their Taco Bell. So in a sense, we would be that location where people can set up, they can sell their food off of an app, which we are doing right now. And you know.
Okay. So you know, just so we know, the definition that we were able to find is a ghost kitchen is a professional food preparation and cooking facility set up for the preparation of delivery only meals. Yes, is that what it is? Okay, perfect. And it says a ghost kitchen contains the kitchen equipment, the facilities needed for preparation of restaurant style meals, but has no dining area for walk-in customers. So basically, people order from you and they come and get their stuff, or you deliver it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And Miss Danielle, what type of business model are you operating out of? Tell us about your business model.
So we've been functioning out of a commissary kitchen, which is kind of similar to the ghost kitchen in the sense that there's several businesses that come in and rent and do their cooking and then, go on with their days. And so we started off doing catering and lunch delivery out of the commissary kitchen. And I would love one day to open a restaurant, but as a lot of people know, it's kind of hard. So we'll see, fingers crossed. Hopefully one day. But yeah, like I said before, we since have switched to doing grocery delivery so we can keep, serving people food through COVID era.
Oh, fantastic. And hey, Annie. Hey, Annie from Long Beach. Thank you for joining us tonight. And again, if you all have any questions for the panelists, please feel free to put them into the Facebook chat box and we will get to them as they come through. Let's put the Burgess brothers up. Tell us about your business model, because I know, like you said, that you were once brick and mortar, but now you've kind of moved into another kind of phase of your business. So talk to us about that. And John, you want to start, and then we'll go to Matt, or how do you want to do it?
Sure. I'll go ahead and start, and then I'll let Matt pick up. But yeah, as I said in the introduction, we had a brick and mortar. We kind of shifted from that, and so I'll talk more of the concession space and catering that we're in, and I'll let Matt talk about the retail side of the house. But we shifted, and basically we are, one of very few that operate in the concession space. So for those of you that are watching, if you know about Levi Stadium where the 49ers play, we've got a concession space inside there where we're actually doing our concept, inside the stadium. We're supposed to be set up inside of Sutter Health Park where the Rivercats play. That kind of got, COVID that's what we're here to talk about. So, and then obviously along with that, we're doing a catering side of the house. And so for those of you that may or may not know, we'll probably talk about later, we are part of the Great Meals program with the city of Sacramento. Some other cities and counties are going to be doing the same thing as well. So again, we're here to share that. And I'll let Matt kind of take over where I left off.
So the other side of the business is essentially I would say the hospitality, where you're as a supplier. And when I say supplier, we supply our food products to restaurants, ballparks, arenas, college campuses in bulk. So restaurants that would order commodities such as hot links or barbecue sauce or a cornbread mix, sausages. We have those things that are supplied to them in bulk. Those are to college campuses as well. We also have the retail side of the house, which is you can find our individual packaged products. We have e-commerce, so they're on our site, which would be, again, our products, our barbecue sauce, hot links, cornbread mix, and a host of other things in addition to an appliance. We have our own appliance out now. It's a waffle orange waffle maker. So that's another branded product that we have that we put out for the retail consumers. So when you look at us, we actually have pretty much all bases covered, from catering to having the own products. And we'll talk a little bit more about the importance of that, having your own products.
So when we talk about, and I actually really want to go into that right now. So when we talk about this particular industry, what types of challenges are we seeing with access? Do you believe that there is a problem with Black businesses gaining access to certain streams of capital? And it's not a loaded question, I promise. It's really not a loaded question, I promise. I just want to know, I want the people to know exactly, when we're starting to talk about these things, that they understand that everything that they, just because they go there, they see you and that they eat there, does not mean that it's always an easy thing for the folks who are preparing the food. So who wants to take that? Danielle, you want to talk about some access?
I mean, I was just going to say that I think that it's difficult for the Black community to gain access to capital, period, not just in this industry, but yeah, especially in this industry. I'm sure you guys have more to offer on that part.
Well, I'm just saying because, I'm sorry, there's a bug, sorry. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of times us who are the consumers don't really look at the challenges of what you all have to do to prepare and to put out a great product. So somebody talk to me, because I know you. Look, we was on the phone yesterday.
Okay, listen. Listen. Just go ahead and be quiet. I'll take more. Okay, I'm a dive in, and I'm not going to say anything that people don't know, but I think we all would agree that the restaurant industry as a whole is very difficult. There are very low margins, and when I say margin, I'm meaning what it costs to prepare a plate, put it out there between labor cost, food cost, utilities, rent, everything else, and then what the customer pays. So when you look at access to capital, well, I mean, everybody knows what was it? Is it 2 out of 3 restaurants fail within the first 2 to 3 years, right? So it's hard to get capital just in general from a restaurant business, from a restaurant perspective. It's even more hard as African Americans to get that capital. And I don't want to go on a train and talk about slavery, but I can tie it back to, and I have to, when we talk about why business plans aren't developed. When you look at most Black restaurants, it's a family thing. We've come together and we're going to make this work. When you look at other restaurants that have had access to education and capital, they've got an incredible business plan. They've got all that you need, and they've planned for everything. So when they go to the bank, they can get that capital. And I think I shared with the couple, from Daddy O's the other day, the best time to use capital is when you don't need capital, and that's when you're going to get capital. So yes, there's a problem with capital. This is a very tough industry. And, Matthew and I have shifted that to where you get rid of that overhead. Granted, when sports come back, there are very few places that you can do millions of dollars in a matter of months and be done with your season. So restaurant owners become slaves to their restaurants, and they're there day and night, which is why we're no longer in a brick and mortar. You wake up and see that, and who's winning are the property owners and the landowners that own that, or the franchise owners, not the franchisees that are there working. I'm going to be quiet and leave something for somebody else, because I don't want to.
Don't be quiet. Don't get shy now. Don't do it.
I just want to. I want to piggyback on the point of access, because I think it's important that we discuss this now, because capital is capital, right? It's funding. When I hear the word access, it's access to opportunity as well. We can look at a lot of opportunities that we miss out on because, again, we don't have access to the people, or the right people that are sitting at the table that's looking out for the Black business owners that are out there. So what I always like to look at is saying, how do we change that? Because that's been difficult in and of itself, especially as a supplier. When I say supplier, we supply our products to college campuses, universities, restaurants, theme parks, what have you. Prime example is looking at Sacramento City Unified School District. This is a school district that is a diverse makeup of kids. If you look at the numbers of African-American kids and Hispanic kids, but yet in COVID-19, it's been a blessing and a curse, because it has exposed what's been going on, not just since COVID-19, it's been prior to COVID-19. Out of 89 suppliers at Sac City Unified, there's not one Black supplier supplying our kids with food. Now, how many parents that look like me sent their kids to Sac City Unified School District? And for you to tell me no, and you don't have a Black supplier, what does that tell you? This didn't just start. Okay, COVID-19 has been a blessing because it's exposed what's been going on for so long. It's been a curse because our people are hit so hard from it as African Americans, because we don't have the resource, we don't have the access, and so we suffer the most. And so right in this stage of the game, you got millionaires and billionaires that are being made. But if you don't know how to make the money, you're going to fall behind the curve.
Wait, are you trying to drop the mic on us? Don't drop the mic.
Hey, he just put it all in perspective. That's all you had to say right there. That's the truth. It's we don't have access to the right people at the table. Don't have access to the right information. Like some of the things that I'm hearing for the first time about, like these different grants, these different loans that people are getting, like the different steps that you have to take to get there. It is all about education, and like, if you lack education, and you miss out on the opportunities that education provides. So I definitely agree with what he just said strongly.
Wait. What else you got, Matt? What else you got?
No, because
keep going,
no, brother. So, brother, you tied up. You said something that was very, it resonated again, and it goes back to our history and what our great grandfather was doing. It's education. He bought a church in Coloma. It's the African church up there. Why? To educate the kids. Because it's education. If you understand education, then you have the tools. But if they can keep you in the dark and can keep you illiterate, so you can't understand, you can't read contracts, you don't know what a deed is, guess what? You don't own nothing. So it ties back into education. And that's why we're not taught the history in school about, who knows about the Homestead Acts? Huh? Can anybody on this call tell me about the Homestead Act? Again, I know you can, brother, because we were raised in the same household. They didn't teach us that in school. That was mama's teaching. That was a history book that you had to dig up, but they don't teach these things in schools to our kids. And so once you understand your history, you can know where you're going and you know the trajectory. But also you level the playing field because now you can play politically on the same side of the field because you know what ammunition they're equipped with. All right. And we ain't trying to let history repeat itself. We're really not.
That's what's up. So Danielle, when you hear or when the things that are coming through, and Matt said a whole lot in what he said, why is it important that we become vocal about what is going on and letting people know that we actually have eyes on you now and we expect access? Why is it important that we become vocal right now?
You mean specific in the food, like the hospitality industry, or just in general?
Well, we could go generally, or you could speak specifically to the hospitality industry, but I find it incredibly disappointing or disgusting that we have districts who do not even offer access to people who look like the kids that they are serving. And I definitely plan on having that conversation with Sac City Unified School District. So why is it important that we become vocal?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't personally spoken with the school districts like the Burgess brothers have, but I think that we've literally been kind of held back or pushed away. Like all of us have, I'm sure all of us have experienced at some point or another, but specifically in this industry and specifically in this area. And, us being vocal, I mean, how many decades have we been being vocal? Yeah, I mean, it's always important. It's always important for us to raise these issues, to bring the issues up in our specific industry, to bring them up in our communities, to bring them up in our counties and our states. I mean, you can go on and on and on. It's always going to be important for us to speak up and to stand up for ourselves and to do what we can to fight for the things that we really deserve access to, right? Not being able to sell your product in a school district like the guys were talking about earlier. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, right? Like it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I mean, yeah.
And I think even if I could piggyback on them, so it's not just that the Burgess brothers are being vocal. What happens when the community begins to prop the Burgess brothers up and be the support at their back so that they can no longer, ignore the issue that they're trying to bring up? So when we don't know things, we can't effectively, go for somebody's jugular because I don't know. I'm vocal, so I can't speak for everybody else. But it means something when we do it as a unit. When we run lock and step with one another, we are unstoppable. So it's important that we all make the decision to get in the game. And you have something to say, Matt?
I do, and I'm sorry to keep on interjecting, but I think it's important because half the people, not just Black people, there's a lot of white people that don't know this is going on. There's a lot that don't know this is going on inside a city, a state, nation that we call diverse. And they coined the phrase of farm to fork and diversity and inclusion right here in Sacramento. So let's peel back that onion. Let's get to the core of it. Are we really diverse? Are we really inclusive? And if we're not, let's change it. So I need some people to know about it. So the only way that we unite is for people to be educated. They know about it. Now let's change it.
Oh, it looks like Ms. Cormier has come to the party. Hey, Louisiana Heaven, go ahead and introduce yourself so we can.
How you guys doing, everybody? Thanks for the invitation. My name is LaShonda Cormier with Louisiana Heaven in Sacramento, California. Hey, guys.
Welcome to the party. I'm coming to see you tomorrow, and I'm going to bring you one of these nice little things while I purchase my food. I'm going to bring one of these for your business.
Okay, I can't wait to see you.
And we're going to take a picture, too. I'm just letting you know we got to put up the picture so they actually know that we actually came and we supported you, okay?
That's quite all right.
All right. So we're talking about people knowing what's going on in this business. We're talking about being more vocal. Let me ask you all this question. What opportunities have you been notified about when it comes to the city and the county's COVID resources? What have they notified you about?
Ooh, can I go first?
Yes, ma'am.
None.
Man,
I second
That's
that.
my
not one thing.
She said, I second that. Let's talk
Here, here.
about it. So when you say that they haven't gotten any information to you, are you saying that you didn't know that resources were available, that they were looking to make sure that, you know, our businesses were represented? What are we saying that when you say none?
Okay, so I heard about I think the city had a specific like restaurant in hospitality industry money that came out, and I think I heard about it like 3 days after the money was gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Burtis Brothers told me about this Great Meals program, which was like another resource that all of us could have accessed, but I didn't hear about it. I think for weeks, right, guys? I mean, it was like weeks after it started, so I mean, I didn't hear about anything.
Huh. Do you find that problematic, Miss LaShonda? Is that problematic for you that you're not getting the information?
Yes. On the other hand, like my sister right here, I actually made the timeline to get all my information in, and I still wasn't approved of it because they said it was overwhelming responses. So with that being said, it still was useless to me. I had friends of other races, non-black, that had got approved of it for a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
And are we talking specifically the City of Sacramento program, or are we talking about the federal dollars? Are we talking City of Sacramento program, you guys?
I'm talking about the federal one.
Okay. So are you talking about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, or the EIDL?
I did it all, and I got declined on every single one of them.
Okay. Were you able to get
So,
any resources from anywhere?
None at all. No.
so if I may just kind of interject, and this is Jonathan. I think, you know, and I've said this before, you know, as far as, you know, when different things come out, whether it be RFPs or invitation for bids, there's a difference between proactively seeking and seeing that, you know, this information goes out to a number of people. And so I will tell you that, you know, although, you know, Matthew and I don't think any African American business knew about, and a lot of times we don't know about these programs, I can tell you that somebody on the inside always does know, and they're not facilitating that information. And so that's one of the reasons for this call. When Matthew and I found out about the Great Meals program, which I believe we were one of the first, I got an email directly from the mayor's office before I believe anybody did, but it still wasn't before the Incredible Five. And we'll just leave it there. But I got that. Yeah,
What is
there was
Incredible Five? What is that?
Incredible Five. There were 5 restaurants that actually did a pilot. They brought a program to the mayor, which I think was great. They did a great thing and said, "Hey, let's pilot this. We need to do, you know, so many meals to keep our businesses afloat." And when the governor came out and talked about the money, when he came on TV and talked about this program, that was back payment for a program that had already been in play, and it did not have diversity. It lacked that. But my point is,
what do you mean when you say it doesn't have, like,
when I say
be specific.
when I say it didn't have diversity, it lacked any black or brown people. Let's just be pointed. It lacked any African American people. Period. Just none. So I don't know. Well, if you look at the restaurants, there's a thing up and you can find it. But not to get into that, my point is this: is that when Matthew and I found out about the program, which was early on, before anybody else, after the program had been piloted, because with anything you got to run a pilot. We did what others should be doing, which is we shared. We told Louisiana Haven. We actually wrote a letter to the mayor and city council and the economic, you know, inclusion officer, as well as the city manager, and said, "Hey, time out. There's no representation here." And I believe that is what sparked the city to actually do some outreach. But Sean had already known about it. Some others had known about it, and we didn't meet Danielle until later. And so the onus is on us, really, people, as a group to collaborate. But again, we've been behind so far getting crumbs. There's always this tension of, well, let me get mine. I got to be taken care of first, and then I'll worry about anybody else. And so a lot of times that information never flows, and you have a select few that's like, well, how do they get in?
Right. Right. And so I just want to put it out there that BSBA also got an email from Miss Lynette Hall, who's been incredible in contacting us directly with information. I want to also put out that my sister, Selena Pryor, who is the president of BSBA, actually called several businesses and sent them the information. And we were actually, I guess, based on the work that she did, 20% of those contracts or those dollars went to Black businesses. So we need to do a better job at one, knowing where everybody is, and you can help us by joining BSBA's membership at www.bsba-ca.org to let us know who you are, so that when we do get information, we know exactly where to send it. So when we're talking about these programs that the city is doing, so right now there is the Great Meals program, and that's serving the elderly and the most vulnerable in our community. Is everybody involved in that program?
So it's actually called the Great Plates program. Just
Great
as
Place. I'm
correction.
sorry. Thank you for that correction. Is everybody involved in that program?
Well, we specifically are in Sacramento County, and we got an email saying that it was for Sacramento City restaurants.
Okay.
So we didn't qualify.
Gotcha.
So, and I'm glad you bring that up, and this is a point too that needs to be considered. And I know that the county board of supervisors knows some should be considering those. If you look at city and county, let's take Florin Road for example, or Stockton Boulevard. One side of the street is city, the other side of the street is county. So you can tell me that a city business that's right a kitty corner across from me is getting this money, has access, but my neighbor right here didn't have access. We're all in Sacramento, people. We're all in the county of Sacramento. Okay, so let's just put that to bed right now. So the city of Sacramento falls within the county of Sacramento.
Right.
Okay, so maybe it should have been a countywide program to start off. But again, I'm not piggy money born quarterbacking. It is what it is. But understanding we're all in the county of Sacramento. So let's make it diverse and inclusive, because you have businesses right here that are in the county that are right across the street, and they're struggling and they don't have that access. But again, if we look at where the cities put a lot of money at, and we can go back down to the Pioneer restaurants that started this, where's that at? We got $1 billion arena called the Golden One Center. And when they built that arena, I don't think there was one Black business represented in there. And that happened on somebody else's watch. But there's still several elected officials that are sitting at the seat today that are still sitting there when all this went down. So you tell me what's going on.
Well, I mean, as someone looking from the outside, I can't tell you. That's why y'all are here to tell me, so that we can all know what's happening.
Hey, I'm putting the information out there so we all can be awoke to it. Okay, so if you're sitting at the table and it's not to serve the people and the people that have been deprived for so many years, then I'm sorry, your time's up. It's time to move on.
So
vote in November.
What'd you say, Danielle?
Vote in November.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely have to vote now. We got to get some people to working around here. Everybody seems comfortable. Like my favorite person ever, the Killmonger on Black Panther. Y'all sitting over here comfortable. I'm trying to get up.
Are there any comments that have come in?
There are several comments. There are no questions. So I want to remind the audience, if you have some questions, and John, the comments you can actually see on the bottom. So if there are some questions from the people who are viewing this, if you go ahead and type them into the chat, we will make sure that we answer those. So when we're talking about collaboration, what types of things do you all envision when we talk collaborating to make sure that this industry remains viable? Does anybody have any ideas of the type of things that we can do for a collaborative effort?
Yeah, and I'll just kind of weigh in. This is Jonathan, and I think we talked a little bit about this a couple days ago, and Matthew and we start, instead of waiting for people to say how come nobody's doing it. Matt and I said, look, we're going to do it. We're going to collaborate with others and actually help bring them up. And part of that was, actually with this Great Plates program, we made sure Sean is up to speed. She got her information in. And part of that collaboration is, Sean, if you have a day where you can't manage your meals or whatever it is, we're in this together. Nobody loses in this. And so sharing information is a start. That's just a simple start. The other thing I can tell you, Sean's using our sausage, in her deal for 1 meal a week. So our cornbread mix. Now that's beneficial in collaboration. And when I look at this program, you guys, and Danielle can attest to this, there's a list of farmers and local purveyors that they want us to use. Many of these local purveyors don't live in the city of Sacramento. They're outside the city. The farms, I want to say there might be one that's African American, but one or two, and then those are small urban farms. And so, yes, we will purchase from them, but the greater part of that list is made up of, other purveyors that, are not necessarily African American. But this is what others have been doing for the longest as far as collaboration. They've been, this list wasn't just made up. They've always been using them. Produce Express, and a number of those at the Rice Company, a lot of these places have been doing this, and it's really now time for African Americans, Black and brown people. If you want to make it through this, you'll be stronger by collaborating, and that's sharing information and realizing and knowing there's enough to go around. And I think we are in a place to where we're doing it, and we're going to show it. And I'll let Danielle talk about what we have in mind and what we're doing with her in a way to collaborate. So really, we're about showing right now. That's just it. That's all.
Before you go, Danielle, and I know that he wants you to talk to us, but I want everybody to point everybody's attention to the question. It says, is there a Black Business Restaurant Week? Do you guys know anything about that? Is there a Black Business Restaurant Week? And can we make one?
That's a Black business. That's an everyday thing.
It's weekly. That's what's up.
I like that idea. It's a really good idea. We know a lot. I mean, in Sacramento, there's a lot of different festivals that are like. There's a Soul Food Festival. There's Barbecue Wars, put on by Aisha. There's a lot of different. There's the Banana Festival. There's a lot of different festivals. But I think that that's a really good idea. And hey, if you guys want to collaborate, let's do a Black Restaurant Week. We'd love to. That's a great idea.
So does COVID change the fact that there were a lot of festivals and now we got to do this whole social distancing and they're not allowing huge crowds to congregate? So what does that look like? And Ms. LaShonda, you had something to add? I'm sorry.
No, I was just piggybacking off her about the festivals because I participated in a number of venues and stuff, and that was a good platform that we had used to get our name out. But back to what John was saying, that awareness is the key of getting all our viewers and everybody else aware of what's going on, and our voices need to be heard of what's going on because no one knows about this, and there's this pandemic that's out here, and it's in a way it's a blessing to bring awareness to things that me didn't even know of. I didn't know all of this information wasn't out there, but I was blessed to get it from John and Matt, and I appreciate that. But like I said, the festivals were a good platform, and this right here is an excellent platform as well. So I just want to get my voice heard and let everybody know this just needs to be put out there.
Thank you very much for that. And Danielle, I didn't mean to cut you off. Jonathan was saying about a collaboration that you two have going on. Can we talk about that really quickly?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, we pivoted from doing lunch delivery and catering. I think it's been over 2 months now, like 2 months and 10 days or something, into doing grocery delivery. And so John and Matt contacted me through this farmers list that he was bringing up a minute ago. And we essentially started selling some of their products, including some of their products in our grocery delivery, it's been amazing. And we have a few other projects coming up, which I'm super excited about. By the way, I got to call you guys because I have some ideas about this Father's Day thing. We talk later. But anyway, yeah. So it's exciting. And I mean, this is what I was, saying a couple days ago also is the way that we are going to be stronger is by establishing this strong sense of community. And like a lot of us have been saying, COVID's been absolutely terrible, right? But there's so many opportunities for all of us to come together with this. And I think that's where we grow. That's where we like we launch. You know what I mean? This is what's next, because I don't personally think there's any way out of this without strong community. And what we're doing here right now is, I mean, for me, this is the future, right? This is where we're going to thrive. You know?
Thank you for that. This comment and question says, informative conversation. Thank you for enlightening me. Who shall we vote for to take care of this issue?
Look, here's the deal. Do your research, do your due diligence. I can't tell you who to vote for. Everyone has that, our ancestors fought for those rights and privilege. So you vote for, after you do your research, you vote for who you think is the best candidate. And if the candidate is not doing what they said they were going to do, and you watch them closely, then you know. And there's another term.
Sorry.
It's not just the presidential candidate that you vote for. Also, local officials also look into the different propositions and that are all about as well, because it's in the details. It's in the details. You might have a proposition out there that might help to build small businesses, and we're just so focused on who's running for president, we don't look at props. Make sure you take a look at those as well.
And just a note for the viewing audience, all politics are local. Most of the stuff that happens locally is going to affect your day-to-day living. So we have to tap in locally. Ron Neal Jones says, how can we, the community who love our Black businesses, help you? Ms. LaShonda, how can the community help you?
Come on in.
Come on in. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So you're doing it as well. So yeah, that's just how you can help support us. The catering, that doesn't have to go away. Today is Memorial Day. We could have made slabs of ribs and pushed that out, for households that didn't want to cook today. It's just the little things, the size, just keep us in mind, keep us in thought, keep us in prayer. We're always going to be there. We're open. Just come on in and support. That's all I'm asking.
And I just wanted to apologize on behalf of Black Youth Leadership Project. We were supposed to have you as our caterer, and then they shut us completely down. But we are committed to having you when we're back up and running. So just know that, okay? In terms of Goodful, Eat Goodful, how can the community support you?
So we're doing a grocery delivery box every week. We do a bunch of local produce, a bunch of products like John and Matt's cornbread mix, and we deliver to your house. We provide some recipes and a bunch of different kind of food. So it's essentially 3 meals for like a small to large box. So the small is 1 to 2 people, the large is 3 to 4, and we've got a small and large, and you've got 3 meals for however many people you order for, a bunch of different add-ons and all this other stuff. So it's exciting. I'm super excited about it.
And then does that run through your website, or that runs through social media? How can people get to that box or those options?
Yeah. The order form's on our website, but you could definitely check us out on Instagram at Eat Goodful. We've got a bazillion different pictures. I'm posting like a crazy person all the time about all the stuff that we're shipping out. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you. Valencia, how can the community support you?
We had Ibrahim step in for a second for us that. But hey, download our app. Text Daddy-O's to 33733. Order plates. Come in, like LaShawn said.
We got merchandise. We got hats, Father's Day gifts.
That's right. Let's go.
And we do whatever. We make whatever you want. Steak, ribs to order. Some of my customers call me in the morning and place an order for late night when they get off work at 1:30 in the morning. We do it all. We are a catering company, so we literally cater to our customers, because that's what we're here for.
Y'all come to
for
Elk Grove?
the customers, we be all bad.
Do y'all come to Elk Grove?
Yes.
We come 25 miles from Rancho Cordova. So
okay, I'm gonna order next week just to support y'all. The Burgess brothers, how can the community support you? Oh, now y'all want to be quiet. How can we support y'all?
Okay, listen. Matt was on mute. I'm just gonna say, how can we support the community? It's not about them helping us, okay? As much as it is, this call is really for other restaurateurs. We want to help them. If you want to help us, go to the website. We'll put that little blue box iffy out of business if it's in your pantry. Get the Burgess Brothers cornbread mix once, and you won't listen. I mean, so that's
You say iffy.
BurgessBrothers.com. Yeah, iffy. Don't even say the name. It's iffy. Okay. So just go to BurgessBrothers.com. There's a special up. Order the cornbread mix. You won't use iffy again. But other than that, really, I want to get to the point of how we help some other restaurateurs, how we help people elevate out of, I saw a comment on here about somebody, saying buy the land first before you build. A lot of times we don't have that opportunity to buy land. A lot of land was taken from us. Nothing against you, brother, but, if I'm going to just take you on a history lesson, we had land. It was taken. Walls didn't protect us. So the ability to buy land before you open up, that's not really how it happens. We got to do RFPs, some stuff that Matthew and I have done that we're doing. I don't think anybody on this call, and I'm not belittling people, but I'm really here to help. How many people here on this call have done a one-day $45,000 catering? Exactly. So how many people in the audience? That's what I'm talking about. That's what Matthew and I bring. So RFPs, that's something we don't know. That's education. And we're about it actually sharing. Danielle, she's in the tribe. LaShonda's in the tribe. Daddy O's may very well be on the bus. We're looking to collaborate. Okay, so people that are home caterers, this is for you. We're here for you guys. I want those questions to come in so we can show and help you elevate.
Thank you. And this one says the list of Black restaurants published by Slack Black Biz was enlightening. Where do we find such lists for other Black businesses? And I don't know if they're referring to our list or a different list. If you're referring to this list, we can only publish what we know to be fact. And if we're calling around and we're trying to figure out who's doing what, if nobody responds, then we have to go with what we have. So the best way to compile lists is for businesses to reach out, become part of BSBA. That helps us a whole lot to identify who you are, and let us know that you're out there, that you're open, that COVID did not shut you down. That way we can notify the greater public about what services you do have to offer. And so when you say RFP, I want to make sure that folks understand that that's request for proposals, correct? And then there's another, what's the other?
There's request for proposal. There's request for proposal, RFP. There's a IFB, invitation for bids.
Okay.
There are a number of different things that, again, a lot of times we don't understand. We just completed an invitation for bid, and that's when you get an invitation to bid on these $800,000 contracts that the state of California and the cities and the other places are given. A lot of these things our people don't know about and wouldn't even know the beginning of how to start. And a lot of times don't have the requirements to actually, meet the minimum requirements. And so that's where you have people like Matthew and I that are saying, hey, we're here to collaborate. I'm looking for people. So when we come out of this COVID thing, if you're a home cook or a caterer or something like that, just think the world's not ending. Okay, there are a lot of restaurants that can't hire people. So, we're almost out of time, but I do want to dive in, Lorraine, and I don't mean to keep chiming in, but this is really for them. It's not about us.
Listen, you keep trying to take over. I got it, boo. I got it. I'm going to come to you. It's all good. I got you. So before we move to the next part, because you want to go somewhere, and I'm not sure where you're trying to drive me, but we going to go where you.
I'm going to just take a can of this Rufus and be quiet. I got to relax. Okay? This is great granddaddy. Yeah, you doggone right. Okay. I'm gonna take a can of that.
Now, before you take your can, why don't you, since you got it up, that's your great grandfather, right? On the beer.
Yes.
And it's
Yes,
available where, since we talking about it, where is it available at?
Only in Sacramento right now. Well, New Visha Brewing Company, 18th and Broadway. It's also at the AMPM Mini Market on Sheldon and Bond. And then there's another over off of Florin, the Quick Stop, Governor Circle and East Parkway in Florin. Those are the 3 locations right now. There'll be in several others, but this is great granddaddy and Coloma discovered gold, and that's a whole nother story that's coming.
It's coming. So we want to make sure, because I know a lot of folks are getting their drink on today. So make sure you go purchase you some Rufus Burgess beer at the Quick Stop off of Governor Circle, and then there's somebody on AMPM, and then there's a Broadway. Y'all go support the brother in the Rufus Burgess beer. Let's do that. So as we
Just don't drink and drive. PSA. Just don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive.
Well, we want to make sure
Keep the road safe.
we're talking about support, and we're talking about getting information and knowing that this information is out there. So it's important that we know exactly kind of what is going on and where we can find things so that we can support, because it's important. If we don't support us, who's going to 9 times out of 10? We also understand that in most Black businesses, Black customers are the one who come in and purchase their stuff. So we have to know where the stuff is, and we have to know where you are so we can come and support you. That's how this game works. So it's a necessary process, and we know that you're trying to drive somewhere. So where are we driving to? What am I leaving out that you wanted to make sure we dove into before we get off this call? Because you're right, we got about 9 minutes left. What should we know about the things going on around us so that we can better prepare to put ourselves in position to navigate? John?
So, COVID-19, we talk about rebuilding and collaboration. And, basically the reality is this, is that it's not going anywhere. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not looking to go get some vaccination in me that they don't know much about. However, with that being said, it's going to be around for a while. And so for the restaurateurs that are out there, you got to look and shift and change. You can't keep doing the same things. And, I look at 916 Catering and I see a lot of our people, Black and brown people on there, the Asian people. There are a number of people there, but, the days of the styrofoam boxes, they're going out. It's not going to work. So if you don't shift your businesses, you're going to be left behind, because that business is not going to exist anymore. The other thing that I'd say is, branding. One of the things with the Great Plate program, we took advantage of, we're putting this on every box. We got 600 boxes a week going out. We stand behind our product. Again, when I look at 916, I see those styrofoam boxes. I don't know where to find you. So, that's marketing. It's reinvesting back in your company. Do some things like that. And then don't be afraid to, there are going to be a lot of restaurants, Sean's place, Danielle's place, when they reopen or whatever else, the hospitality industry as it is going to change. A lot of people are not going to come back to that business. Some people are going to be, what do you call this new word, contact trace tester?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a new job. There are going to be people in that job. So restaurateurs, if you have a catering business and you're looking to get out of working out of your house, sometimes people like Danielle or Sean or even the Burgess brothers or Daddy O's, you could be of help to them, and you're already set up with hopefully an EIN number and some sort of business, but it's about scaling and being able to grow your business. And so, if nothing else, if you get nothing else from this call, hopefully you can walk away with that.
And I just want to make sure that Anita Lopez understands that I see the comments that she's making, and those are unwanted here. I don't know who that's referring to or who that is, but we don't do that over here. Anyway, so Miss LaShonda, you have dine-in, or you're not going back to dine-in, or are you planning to open your dine-in area? And if so, because of the guidelines that were recently put out by the county, how is that going to impact your setup moving forward?
We're going to continue to do what we have been doing since this pandemic came about, which was carry out, curbside, and delivery. I don't think that we're getting enough training and
You're not using the gas.
guidelines of the state to go ahead and train my employees at this point to open it back up. And because like I said before, customers and my employees are my priority. Safety is priority. And so once I get those guidelines in place and give some training to my employees, then I will open back up. But at this point, I feel secure right now and eager back to open up. I'm very eager to do that. Just give us a little time and get some training and get us, pushed back into the system and stuff. Because we had a lot of employees that's been down that hasn't even been working for a while. So I just want to make sure that the masks are in place, which we already still have. I just got to keep getting more. We were given some donated from the NAACP that just came from Betty the other day. gloves, things like that. So I'm just going to follow the guidelines of the state, and then we'll be seeing everybody soon inside.
Fantastic. And so we do know that the county is proposing something called the Train the Trainers program. We had a chance to meet with the county director last week. So if your restaurants wouldn't mind submitting some sort of letter in support of the Train the Trainer program, which is going to help dine-in facilities make sure that they are adhering to these county guidelines, and especially the folks who are out looking for jobs, that we make sure that we lend our support, and then we ask for a certain number of those jobs to be dedicated to our folks. So just putting that out there, we need to make sure we know what's going on around us, and so that we can ask for what we need as a community to make sure our folks are included in whatever programs anybody is proposing moving forward. So we have about 5 minutes left, and I don't mean to rush off, but I know that a lot of times we don't like to be anywhere past an hour. So we will go, we will just, and we will go to your final thoughts, what you want the people to know. Again, tell them the name of your business, where they can find you, tell them the hours of operation, anything that you think is pertinent to this time. So we are going to do that right now, and we're going to start with Daddy O's. Let's tell them once again about where you are, what your hours of operation are, where they can find you, and all that good stuff. Go.
We are Daddy O Smokehouse. You text one word, DADDYOS, Daddy O's, to the number 33733, and you can download our app. You can also look us up online, www.daddyozsmokehouse.com. We're located in Rancho Cordova, 3581 Majorfield Road. Now, we are in a new building next door to the subway. We're not open yet. We're working out of a commercial kitchen. So that's where you can pick up your orders, and you can also have your order delivered. We're open every day except Monday today from 12 to 10. So tap in, number 916-821-9020. That barbecue that you love.
Thank you very, very much. Let's go over to Miss Danielle. Tell us about your business, where they can find you.
Yeah, we are at eatgoodful.com. It's EATGOODFUL.com. We're doing weekly grocery delivery. That's all local products. You can customize your box. You can also order on the website at eatgoodful.com. If you want to check out kind of what we're doing so you get an idea of what's in the box, you can go to our Instagram, which is also at eatgoodful. Yeah, we're trying to stay strong with the community like everyone else in this call is, and we would love to see you guys and deliver you some cornbread mix and a bunch of local veggies. It's a really good box. Again, eatgoodful.com, and on Instagram at eatgoodful.
Thank you very much. We are definitely going to support. Let's go to Miss LaShonda. Tell us where you are, your hours of operation, and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, we're located at 6623 Valley High Drive in Sacramento, California, 95823. It's off Highway 99. From Kaiser South. Our phone number is 916-689-4800. We can also be reached on at Instagram, Louisiana Heaven, LouisianaHeaven.com. Everything's Louisiana Heaven. And our operations we're closed on Mondays, Tuesdays through Saturdays, 11 to 8, and Sundays, 11 to 6.
Thank you very much. And like I said, we'll be coming to see you tomorrow because I am hungry. I had my whole menu typed out of what I was about to order, and you was not there today.
I know.
But I will be back. I am coming to see you tomorrow. And let's go to the Burgess. Tell us about you, your business, and where they can find you.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can go to our website, www.burgessbrothers.com. You can find us there. Again, we're looking for individuals that are ready to come together and collaborate. You can also find our products there. But if you're here local to Sacramento and you're a restaurant, you can also find our products at Frank's Quality Meats. They are a local distributor here in Sacramento, and they're underutilized by some of the larger communities. A lot of people don't know about them, but they've been here for the last 60 years. They're on 6580 Bellawood Lane. That's off of Freeport Boulevard, opposite of Executive Airport.
Good job, Matt.
Of the business again? What's the name of the business that has the products? I'm sorry, I missed.
The name of the business is called Frank's Quality Meats.
Frank's Quality Meats. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all coming to hang out with me for this last hour. It says, when will you have this panel or topic again? We will have it when you want it. Just let us know if you want to have this type of topic again. I'm here to serve the community. So whatever we need to do to make sure this information gets out, we will do that. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming to hang out. And I look forward to purchasing from you and seeing you soon, especially Miss LaShonda tomorrow. I'm just going to be ready, and I'm bringing all of my appetites, and I will bring everybody in my house. We will have masks, but we are coming. And everybody loves your cornbread mix, not the iffy, but what y'all got. They love that. And you guys had the guy with the patty pie. What's his name? James somebody or other? What's his name? You know his name. What's his name?
James Wright.
James Wright did sell on that cornbread mix, and we got orders from New York all over, man. They still ordering from him.
James Wright with the patty pie came and did an endorsement for the Burgess Brothers cornbread mix with the greens in the middle of it, and they baked it, and he was having a fit over that cornbread mix. So if you have a chance to go and see that, please go and give it a thumbs up and let them know you saw him. But yes, Lord, Louisiana Heaven, girl, you got all kind of fans on the TV today or on the broadcast today. And Burgess Brothers, Dennis Sidnor said he gonna be contacting you. So when he calls, that's my friend from junior high school. When he calls you, be nice to him. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle, for joining. Miss Danielle, thank you for joining. Matt and John, y'all know I love you. Miss Shonda, great to finally meet you. You will catch everybody the next time. BSBA out. See you later.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Night, y'all.
Good night. Thank you.